I've been on a mission to find fast, healthy recipes that actually taste good. I found this recipe for chicken parmesan the other night and it tasted really good and I wanted to share it with you guys. One thing I love about it is it's all made in the air fryer. So we're gonna be making a roasted tomato for the top. We're gonna have a panko breaded chicken cutlet that's so nice and crispy. And then we're gonna top it all off with some fresh mozzarella that melts and makes it taste all so good. If you liked the video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have a friend you think might like it, feel free to share it with them. Links and information for everything is gonna be in the description below. First thing we're gonna do is get the tomatoes ready for the air fryer. I've got a pint of tomatoes and I'm gonna half of them. That's really hard to say. Half.
Why don't you say quarter?
I'm not quartering them, I'm halving them. Half of them.
Yeah, it's just the way you said it.
I know.
I'm gonna take half of them and cut them in half.
I'm gonna be taking half of the pint and cutting those in half. That was really hard to say. That's about half. And you're gonna wanna put those just in a bowl. Once you have those all cut up, we're gonna be pressing 3 cloves of garlic into them. One teaspoon of olive oil. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. I'm just gonna do 2 clicks of my grinders. Now you're gonna mix that all up. Once you have them all mixed up, we're gonna pour them out on our tray and we're gonna be putting them in the air fryer for 5 minutes. Once they're done in the air fryer, we're gonna pull them out and let them cool off to the side. And then before we put them back on the chicken, we're gonna slowly add in a little bit of our cherry balsamic vinegar. Put them in on the middle shelf. We're gonna be selecting air fry and we're gonna do 5 minutes. Ooh, way too far. Start. While your tomatoes are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and get ready for the chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and crack 1 egg. We're gonna whip that up. I'm gonna be using our coating trays. They do come with 3, but I'm only gonna need 2 tonight, 1 for the egg and 1 for our breadcrumbs and panko seasoning. It is a bigger dish than I normally use. We probably could put 2 eggs there, but 1 egg is more than enough. I made it last night and 1 egg worked perfectly. In the other one, we're gonna be mixing together seasoned panko breadcrumbs and I'm using Parmesan breadcrumbs. You can use whatever you prefer, but I really liked the mix of these 2. 3/4 cup seasoned panko and 3/4 cup Parmesan breadcrumbs. Toss them together. So I already bought thinly sliced chicken breast. If you have full chicken breast, you can go ahead and slice them in half and use like a meat tenderizer or a pounder to flatten them out. I was just being lazy and bought them already sliced that way. I'm gonna do 4. Clean these ones up a little bit, which you can or cannot do to yours, totally up to you. So here comes the part that I found super messy, but it made the chicken taste delicious. You're gonna need to get pesto. I buy pre-made pesto, you can make your own. I like to shake it up if you buy it pre-made because it does separate so you don't have all that oil just sitting on top. And then I'm gonna pour some into a different container so I don't contaminate the whole thing. Now you're gonna coat the chicken front and back. Since I've already got a dirty hand, that's gonna be my hand for dipping it in the egg. So you're gonna pick one up, coat it in your egg mixture, and then set it in your breadcrumbs. And when I do this, I like to cover it with the breadcrumbs best I can. And then you're gonna press down. That's what's gonna help the breadcrumbs and the panko really stick. Now you're gonna set it on one of your trays. You're gonna do that for the other 3. Once you have them all covered in the breadcrumbs, we're gonna go ahead and spray them with olive oil. You're gonna do this on both sides. So spraying it with the olive oil is what's gonna make it crispy all around. We're not gonna have to flip these while we're in the air fryer. We are gonna trade the levels that they're on at the halfway point, but we don't have to flip them over, which is so nice, and they're nice and crispy. I'm gonna be putting one on the very top level and one on the middle. You're gonna be cooking the chicken anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. Mine are a little bit thicker, so I'm guessing they're gonna be in that 13 to 14 range. I recommend just using a meat thermometer to check your temperature to make sure it's at least the 165 range. We're gonna select air fry, and I'm gonna do 13 minutes to start. While your chicken is cooking, you're gonna wanna finish off your roasted tomatoes and get your cheese all sliced up to go. I'm gonna put the tomatoes in one of the prep bowls and add one of my favorite ingredients. It's a cherry balsamic vinegar, and I absolutely love it. I will put this on just about everything. But I'm gonna put a tablespoon with the tomatoes and then just mix it all up. And I'm gonna let that sit off to the side until the chicken's done. So we're gonna be using fresh mozzarella, which is has more liquid in it. So I like to cut my slices, and I'm gonna set it on paper towels and give it a little squish so the liquid doesn't come out when we heat it up in the air fryer. You don't want it super thick. I do 2 slices per chicken. Then I just lightly press. You don't want to push too hard, otherwise you're just gonna squish it. And then you're just gonna set those off to the side for when your chicken's done. So at the halfway point, you're gonna wanna go ahead and pause your air fryer, and we're gonna move the trays. So we'll move this one to the top, this one in the middle. And then start it back up. All right, our time is up, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out and check the temperature. All right. They're all above 165, so they're all good to go. Now we're gonna top them with some of the tomatoes and then some of the mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna be putting them back one tray at a time, so then I can put it right in the middle and it melts really nicely. First, we're gonna put the tomatoes on, and then you're gonna put the cheese on top of that. And then your cheese. I'm gonna put this one back in on the middle shelf, and do air fry 2 minutes. You don't need to do anything at the halfway point, just let it go. And now I'll get these 2 ready for when those are done. Once you have that one out, you're gonna slide the other one in. Same thing, air fry 2 minutes. And then before you serve it, you're gonna wanna top it with some fresh basil. I'm gonna be using just that lightly dried basil because it keeps longer in the fridge, but if you have fresh, chop it up and sprinkle it right on top. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe as much as my husband and my daughter and I do. She gobbled it up last night. She nearly ate a whole chicken all by herself. Let me know in the comments if you try it and you like it. And if you're still new to your air fryer, I recommend checking out my 101 video. It gives you some tips and tricks and shows you how to get the most out of your air fryer. There's a link for it in the description. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.